That was a good one there, George. Our colleague over there around the Independence Square. Speaking to a few Ghanaians. Asking them to renew their pledge to Mother Ghana. But for us in the studio, we are going to be bringing you some sports news. My name is Thea Winyan, and I've been joined in the studio by Yao Ofosulabi. Great to have you here.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
It was excellent.
Excellent. Yeah. Manchester United lost.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so as he gathers his words, we'll be bringing you, some Ghana Premier League results and of course the table as well. Remember, Hearts of Oak, Dreams FC, and Wild All Stars were looking to maintain their 100% record in the Ghana Premier League, but matchday 3 was quite woeful for them. They all dropped points, all of them not losing, but all drew. Hearts of Oak drew to Ebusuma Dwellers, Wild All Stars drew to Liberty Professionals, and Dreams FC also dropped points against Inter Allies in Tema. Let's take a look at the results, and we'll be back to analyze them. Anyway, we'll be bringing you that particular one pretty soon, that we have the results of those games. So let's go take the results, and we'll be back with analysis. So those are the results of matchday 3 in the Ghana Premier League, and Wafa also beat Hazakes by 5-0. Yes, 5-0. Samuel Tete grabbing a hat-trick in that particular game. Yeah, you see that game and you ask yourself if Ghanaians really, or the Ghanaian clubs can really score as many goals as we saw, at Sugakope. Wafa, what is it about them this season? Well,
Wafa are just showing us what they showed us last season in the first round. They always start the league very well, and that their very little stadium at Sugakope is proving to be a fortress yet again, like it was last season. They beat Kotoko there, although they capitulated in their away fixture. They are back. Sure. They beat Hazakes by 5 unanswered goals.
5
yes.
goals to 0.
So it shows how serious they are at home, and I think that going forward, Coach Samade and John Keller need to put in that effort to be able to psych the boys up for away matches, because if you are going to go far in the league, you need to win some away games, to buttress the home wins that you get.
You have been there to Sugakope. What do you think is so special over there that is getting the wins for Wafa? I mean, win against Asante Kotoko, win against Hazakes, who beat Echiman City by 4-2 on matchday 2. They are not too much of minus, Hazakes, but Wafa taught them a lesson. What do you think is a trick at Sugakope?
Well, basically, I think that the first trick at Sugakope is their AstroTurf.
Yeah.
And,
not a lot of players are
used to the AstroTurf, but the Wafa guys have played there for a long time. They train there. I think they have 5 different turfs that they train on and do other things on. So it has given them that quality going into games like this, and they've acclimatized with the stadium very well. Remember when Arsenal used to play at Highbury, they knew the stadium so well that they went a whole season without losing there, and without losing a game at all, because they knew their stadium very well. So it shows
Chelsea have done same at Stamford Bridge. 87 games
at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Manchester United have done it in Old Trafford, Barcelona.
Yeah.
So the big clubs know their stadiums, and I think that's what Wafa are bringing into the league this season.
Let's move away from that one. We go to Asante Kotoko Mediama Sporting Club. That game ended by 2-2. At a point, we were thinking that Mediama were going to be losing. Remember, Asante Kotoko took the lead twice, and Mediama had to equalize. What do you think is happening to Mediama? Really, they have not won after 3 games. Tom Strand, after all his exploits last season, we were thinking he was going to be high-flying this season. Well, such a slow start.
Well, it's been a slow start. I agree, but then again, let's look at Mediama, and it looks like the pieces of the jigsaw haven't come together for them yet. I think that going forward, they need to do something. But then the draw yesterday was a turning point. It's like a turning point for Mediama this season, because if you look at their record at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, they've not won there since 2010. Yeah. It's been a long time since they actually got a decent result against Asante Kotoko. So yesterday, coming back from behind to draw the game twice, I think that it's fantastic for them. Malik Akowa inspired his side Coach Tom Strand was also a very excited man.
And what a lovely goal by
What a lovely goal there by
lovely goal.
I think that, you know, there has been 3 games so far there has been 3 match days in the Ghana Premier League. But then again, the goals that we have seen are all goal of the season contenders. Bismarck Opoin's the Amos Cranches goal that he scored against the Chiman City.
Yeah, that was a
at the
lovely 40-yarder.
It's a lovely goal. Yeah. And, you know, very, very nice goal so far.
Eric Bequin's goal in that same game was an absolute stunner as well.
Latif Blessing scored a nice goal against Inter Allies. Yeah. So, you know, it shows the kind of quality that, you know, this season's league has brought to Ghanaians so far.
If you were thinking that the Ghana Premier League was lacking quality, then you definitely have missed it, because we have seen some very, very amazing goals in the Ghana Premier League. Of course, we've seen the likes of, you know, Bismarck Opong score some lovely goals. We've seen Latif Blessing also score other goals. Let's catch exactly what the table looks like after match day 3, because Kenichi Yasuhashi, after winning 2, dropped 2 points against Ebusuma Dwarfs. He has got 7, but is he top of the league? Let's see. So, Kenichi Yasuhashi's side, you know, after dropping points, are not top of the table, while All Stars, rather, you know, per the number of goals they have scored, are top of the table. But very interesting, before we go to Aduana Stars, let's look at Hearts of Oak. They have still not conceded a goal in the Premier League. How astonishing is that? I mean, if you look at how many goals they leaked last season, Kenichi Yasuhashi, after everything, has really built a very solid defense, you know, at his back.
Well, you know, aside the defensive setup of Accra Hearts of Oak that has been very good so far, I think that their keeper Sulama Abdullahi has been in top form. You know, he made some excellent saves against Mediama at the Tapa TNA Park last on match day 2, which I think that, you know, it puts Hearts of Oak in a very comfortable position. It's always good to know that you have, you know, a big keeper, a reliable keeper behind you if you're a defender. And I think that Ruben Yan and his defenders will be quite excited to have Sulama Abdullahi behind them, because, you know, anytime they miss the ball, they know that the keeper can pull out something that will be able to save their blushes. And I think that that is what, you know, Hearts of Oak have done very well. But then again, Kenichi has been able to organize the defense very well. Ruben Yan, as I mentioned earlier, and his contingent at the back are doing excellent. I think that, you know, after 3 games, it's too close to call. It's too early. But then again, they have 7 points, which puts them atop the league table with Dreams FC, surprisingly, and WA All Stars. So, you know, I think that, you know, going forward, it will be good for them, because they are gathering the points right now, you know, thick and fast. The games are also coming thick and fast as well. So the more they win, or the more they try to get wins and draws, then the more they go ahead on the table. Because last season, it didn't look too good for Accra Hearts of Oak. It didn't look too good for Accra Hearts of Oak. Where are the words of Yaa Ofosulabi? Now, we move away from the Ghana Premier League. We go straight to the English Premier League. And of course, what a season is turning out to be for Leicester City. We have been talking about them for quite a while. Now the stretch at the top of the table is 5 points between them and Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal played out a 2-2 draw. Francis Coquelin, you know, getting red carded in that particular game. But our main focus will be on Sunday's games. Liverpool also winning late against Crystal Palace at the Selhurst Park, and Manchester United getting beaten by West Bromwich Albion after one matter, you know, reduced their numbers to 10 in that particular game. What do you make of the games? Let's start with Liverpool Crystal Palace. The penalty incident, highlight of the game. Late in the game, Christian Benteke went down controversially. The assistant referee says it's a penalty. The referee also seconds it, and Alan Pardew is going all ballistic. What really went wrong? Well, I don't think a lot went wrong. I think that, you know, Benteke made a meal out of a very simple touch. And the rule is very simple. If there's contact and the player goes down, then it's, so you agree it's a penalty? It's a penalty. I think it's contentious. I think that, you know, it's the referee's discretion to give it or not, and he gave it. So Pardew says if he had gone against Liverpool, you know, in favor of Crystal Palace, it would not have been given. You know, quite a controversial statement. It's quite a controversial statement, but I don't believe that, you know, those things actually happen. But then again, I watched Don Hutchison yesterday, and he gave an example that it was a simple touch, fine. There was contact in the box, fine. the player went down, but he doesn't think it's a penalty because football is a contact game.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that if someone touches someone in the midfield and the person falls, it's going to be given as a free kick. You know, those are the issues that were raised yesterday. But
a fair point, actually.
Yeah, it's a very fair point. But I think that, as I said earlier, the referee's discretion is what matters. He's a man who has the cards. He's the one who has the whistle, and what he whistles for is what, you know, the players are going to play to. And I think that Benteke just used his quality as, you know, a very experienced striker to get that penalty. So
Liverpool won by 2-1 away from that. Manchester United lost, their arch rivals. They lost by 1-0 at the Hawthorns, you know, against West Bromwich Albion. But okay, so we come back to that particular incident between Benteke and the Crystal Palace defender and Delaney, and the contact. It was very, very.
You see, when you take a look at you see his right knee caught Benteke's left leg, and you know there was contact. That's what I'm saying, that you know Benteke made a meal out of that one, because if you look at it very, very well, you will not expect a player to go down under a circumstance like this. So it's just something that, you know, it happens in football. Probably Delaney should have, you know, exercised a little bit of patience. I think how he went into that tackle was quite poor because Benteke wasn't going anywhere with that ball. So bringing him down like that is something that, you know, any referee, you know, who is not too close to the action would give.
Trust me, the Liverpool fans, they will not care a jot about that because they always walk alone. This time around, the referee walked with them. But away from that, Manchester United were also caught walking alone because the referee decided to walk the other way. Mike Dean, the centre referee of the game between West Bromwich Albion and Manchester United at the Hawthorns, decided to send off one matter on the 26th minute, meaning that Manchester United were reduced to 10 men. They held on for quite some time until sometime after the 70th minute, where the likes of Solomon Rondon, you know, got the only goal of the game, you know, which gave West Bromwich Albion all 3 points. What do you really make of that incident to start off with, one matter?
Well, I think that, you know, one matter's incident is a very tricky one. You know, the first one, in my opinion, was very silly to have blocked, you know, Darren Fletcher's shot when West Brom wanted to take a very quick free kick, you know. So that was very silly. But then the second one, in my opinion,
so that was a tackle.
Yeah, the second one, in my opinion, Mike Dean could have overlooked. I don't think that, you know, it is something that warranted another yellow card.
It wasn't malicious, but it was late.
It was very late.
It was very
late. But then again, you see, I think that Mata tried to get his leg out of the way in a way.
At a point, you realized he was slowing down, you know, that particular action. But you see, one Mata is a player who is not known for some of these things. And I feel the referee could have easily overlooked this.
It's actually his first red card in his club career, so it's quite disturbing for a player like Mata. But then again, if you do these things in a game, I'm sure. The thing is, he had a poor game yesterday.
Up until that point, he had a poor game, and the red card could have come at any time because the way he was playing and the way he was going into tackles and everything, it was quite careless. So, you know, the red card was there, all right, but we saw Arsenal come back from a red card and were able to draw 2-2. We saw Liverpool come back from a red card and won at the Hawthorns against West Brom. So it doesn't give United any reason to blame Mata for getting a red card, and you know, because of that they couldn't win or couldn't get a point from that game. I think that, you know, if you look at the game, all through that game, United were insipid, they were distasteful, they were a team that didn't look like they wanted something out of the West Brom game. It didn't look too good for United yesterday. Yeah, the man with the big English here says the Manchester United were insipid, they were distasteful. But Louis van Gaal used a very modest one. He said that, you know, it was a turnaround, you know, after that particular incident. But, you know, we turn around from the English Premier League, we go straight to some other matters in the La Liga. Real Madrid, they won. Barcelona, I don't know what happened. You can tell us about that.
Well, you know, Real Madrid, excellent, you know, win against Celta Vigo. They won 7-1.
Yeah.
They won 7-1 in that game. You know, sometimes they say La Liga is the only league that, you know, you can record such scorelines week in, week out.
8-0, 7-0. It's deliberate for them.
And, you know, but I think that generally Cristiano Ronaldo showed how much of a top player he is. I think that, you know, he's now the second all-time scorer in La Liga, you know, behind Messi, which is a fantastic feat for him, looking at how many years he has played in the La Liga and how many goals he has scored. He has scored all those goals in very limited games, and I think that, you know, he has just proven that he's one of the best individual players in world football.
He's the fastest player to have reached 350 plus goals in Europe. No player has ever done that with the number of games that he's played. But again, another highlight in the Spanish La Liga happens to be Barcelona against Eibar, 4-0. One of the executive producers has been telling me that the Spanish La Liga is actually not as good as the Ghana Premier League. If you record as many goals as it was, Cyril Dogbe is telling me that the Ghana Premier League is better. I bet to differ, and I know you also bet to differ. But Real Madrid and Barcelona, really, they are giving very good accounts of themselves.
Well, they are giving very good accounts of themselves, but I think that, in the position Real Madrid are in, there's nothing they can do but to score a lot of goals in games like this, because they are very far off the La Liga title. They just need to keep on winning and then going ahead. But then again, if you look at Barcelona's front three, I think that the world could be running out. Best
trio the world has ever seen.
The world could be running out of superlatives that we can use to describe them. I think that they have been fantastic so far. They've scored close to 100 goals this season, and it is something that a lot of teams haven't done. United have not scored 70 goals this season. Just a trio, 3 players have scored close to 100
more
goals.
Than that.
So it shows the quality that they have in their team. But Real Madrid probably might be setting their sights on the Champions League, because it's all but done for them in the La Liga, and they're out of the Copa del Rey as well. So it's the Champions League that they can prove their worth, and I think that Zinedine Zidane, who's their manager, could be looking at it.
Okay, so that's it for sports here. My name is Thierry Nyan, and I was joined here today by Yao Ofosolabi.